he did not comply with the rules. Then he moves up to super middle and makes the fight of the century, beats Canelo, makes 50 million.
You know, I see Mauricio, you know, got a lot to say about me not paying him $300,000.
We made a very clear 0.6%, which is $300,000, with $225,000 going to the Jose Sulaiman Boxers Fund.
So since you, the WBC, and you got the fucking green belt, which don't mean fucking shit, the fucking real belt is the ring belt, which is free, motherfucker.
It is just regrettable, not even a thank you or I'm sorry, taking a different route, no response. I wish him the best.
Like, who the fuck you think I am? Boy, you better slap your fucking self and paying your ass shit.
I king, I do what I king.
I am a revolutionary.
I am.
Imagine beating the biggest name in boxing, becoming the undisputed champion, and then losing your belt just 81 days later without even stepping back in the ring. That's exactly what just happened to Terence Crawford, and his response has boxing fans, politicians, and the entire sports world talking. On December 3, 2025, the WBC made a shocking announcement at their annual convention in Bangkok, Thailand.
Terence Bud Crawford. So you know about 81 days ago, Terence Crawford became the undisputed super middleweight champion. That's 168 pounds when he defeated Canelo Alvarez at Allegiant Stadium on Netflix. Well, it wasn't as short as when Alexander Usyk became undisputed champion after defeating Tyson Fury, and the IBF took their title away, but it's just a little bit later. Here comes the WBC saying we're taking away our version of that belt.
They were stripping Terence Crawford of his super middleweight title. The reason? Crawford refused to pay their sanctioning fees. We're talking about $300,000 that the WBC says he owes them from his fights against Canelo Alvarez and Israel Mandrimov. Now, you might be wondering what sanctioning fees even are. Well, every time a boxer fights for a world title, they have to pay the organization that owns that belt a percentage of their fight purse. It's usually 3% of what they make. But here's the thing. The WBC claims Crawford made around $50 million from the Canelo fight, so they decided to be nice and only charge him 0.6% instead. That comes out to $300,000. WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman tried to explain their position. He said,
makes $50 million or around that. The WBC absolutely is not going to charge 3% of such an amount. We made a very clear 0.6%, which is $300,000, with $225,000 going to the Jose Sulaiman Boxers Fund, which is to help former fighters in need.
According to the WBC, they sent multiple messages to Crawford, his manager, and his lawyers. They say they got no response. Not even a simple reply saying, "We got your message."
And it is just regrettable, not even a thank you or I'm sorry, taking a different route, no response. I wish him.
So they felt they had no choice but to strip him of the belt. But Terence Crawford wasn't about to stay quiet. He posted an 8-minute video on Instagram that was filled with curse words and anger. And man, did he let them have it. Crawford started off hot.
You know, I see Mauricio, you know, got a lot to say about me not paying him $300,000 plus another $100K something for sanction fees, right? Then he gonna tell me I ain't even apologize. Like, who the fuck you think I am? Boy, you better slap your fucking self and paying your ass shit.
He didn't stop there. Crawford went right at the heart of why he thinks the WBC is wrong.
Fuck you talking about pay you $300,000. What makes you so motherfucking better than any of the other sanctioned bodies? Huh? Answer that question. What makes you better than the WBO, the IBF, or the WBA? Everybody accepted what I was giving them. But you, the WBC, think that you better than everybody, don't you? So since you, the WBC, and you got the fucking green belt, which don't mean...
This is actually a really important point. Crawford is saying that the other three major boxing organizations, the WBA, WBO, and the IBF, all accepted the same payment from him. Only the WBC demanded more money. So, in his mind, why should one organization get special treatment? Then Crawford really hit them where it hurts. He went at the heart of the value of the WBC belt itself.
Fucking shit. The fucking real belt is the ring belt, which is free, motherfucker. What are you talking about? You want me to pay you more than the other sanctioned bodies because you feel like you better.
The Ring Magazine belt is something different. It's considered by many boxing fans to be the real championship because it represents the lineal champion. That means the person who beat the person who beat the person all the way back through boxing history. And here's the kicker. The ring belt doesn't charge fighters any fees at all. It's completely free. Crawford made another powerful argument about who really deserves the money. He said,
"It's a trophy anyway. The fuck am I paying you every time I step foot in? Gonna fucking wear down as the years pass. That don't even make sense. I'm the motherfucker that's putting my life on the line, not you. You ain't stepping your motherfucking ass in that ring. You or nobody else. You or nobody else. So why should I have to pay to carry your belt? You should be..."
This really resonates with a lot of fighters and fans. Crawford is the one risking brain damage, broken bones, and potentially his life every time he fights. Meanwhile, the WBC officials are sitting ringside in expensive suits, watching safely from outside the ropes. Crawford also attacked how the sanctioning bodies spend fighter money. He said, "This dude gets on a plane, gets a hotel suite, him and his buddies, they go out to dinner, 5-star meals, all that, and guess who got to pay for it? Us fighters. We're paying for y'all to come out here, have the time of y'all's life, stay in the best hotels of y'all's life, and it's all done on our dime." He compared sanctioning fees to government taxes. He said,
"It's crazy, ain't it? We the one out there getting battered, knocked upside our head, and every time we step foot in the ring, we gotta pay them a sanction fee like they the government. We getting taxed."
So Crawford didn't just attack the money issue. He also went personal against Mauricio Suleiman. He accused the WBC president of being mad that he beat Canelo Alvarez, who is Mexican, just like Suleiman.
So listen, Mauricio, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Because everybody in the world know you was going for Canelo. You was mad that I beat Canelo. It's okay. It happens, you know? But if you a real fan of the sport, you would have, you know, said congratulations instead of having that little smirk on your face, all mad and pouting. But listen though, you should have took the money and you should have been thankful and grateful that I was rocking your belt around as your champion.
Crawford also disputed the WBC's claim about how much money he made. He said, allegedly, I made $50 million. You don't know how much I made. Once again, you're speculating. This matters because the sanctioning fee is based on what Crawford supposedly earned. If the WBC is guessing at his purse size, then maybe they're charging him too much. Crawford ended his rant by saying he's been stripped before and it doesn't bother him. I've been stripped before. IBF just stripped me when I was at 147. Doesn't matter. I'm still considered the undisputed champion. I'm still the champion in the division because you know why? The only belt that's recognizable as the champion is the ring belt, baby. He finished with confidence. History already been made, baby. I am legend, and I'ma leave y'all with that. I'm about to go in here and get me a turkey burger. So, what does Mauricio Suleiman think about all this? He responded to Crawford's rant in interviews, and he tried to stay professional about it. "It's very unfortunate. The worst situation, the worst decision that the WBC could ever make is to withdraw the recognition of a champion. I'm very sorry for Terence's actions. His actions led to the WBC to decide something." Suleiman defended the fee structure. He said the sanctioning fees that we assessed were minimal. Contrary to the belief of the 3% that the rules state on large-scale events, we do modify sanctioning fees. He also emphasized where the money goes. Most of it, $225,000 out of the $300,000, was supposed to go to the Jose Suleiman Boxers Fund, which is to help former fighters in need. Suleiman said the WBC's only reason for existence is for the fighters, for the boxers before, during, and after their years in the ring. Every single penny that comes into the WBC goes back to boxing in one way or another. Despite the conflict, Suleiman still respects Crawford. He said Crawford is a sensational champion with legendary status. I like him, I respect him. It was his decision. He decided not to abide by the rules, and we were led with no other solution or position but to take that action. But here's where it gets even more serious for Crawford. The WBC didn't just strip him of the belt, they also removed him from their rankings entirely. Suleiman made this clear when he said he's not going to find in the World Boxing Council a rival to fight. Definitely no. This means Crawford can't fight for any WBC title in any weight class. For a fighter who has built his career on collecting belts and becoming champion in multiple divisions, this is a big deal. Now, Crawford still has 3 other major world titles. He kept his WBA, IBF, and WBO super middleweight belts. Plus, he still has the Ring Magazine belt, which he values most anyway. So, he's still considered by most people to be the real champion at 168. The WBC has already ordered a fight to fill the vacant title. British fighter Hamza Shiraz will face Christian Mabili from Canada for the belt. Both fighters are undefeated, with Mabili being 29-0-1 and Shiraz being 22-0. But this controversy is more than just one fighter and one belt. This situation has actually reached the U.S. Congress. On December 4th, just one day after Crawford was stripped, Congressman Randy Fine from Florida brought up the case during a hearing. The hearing was about something called the Muhammad Ali Revival Act. This is a proposed law that would reform how professional boxing works in America. It would improve fighter protections, safety standards, and potentially create a unified system similar to how the UFC operates. Congressman Fine used Crawford's situation as proof that boxing needs reform. He said, Terence Crawford had an amazing effort against Canelo, and he unanimously won that championship. How is it that 2 months later he's not the champion because he didn't pay a fee? It's only in the sport of boxing that we see nonsense like this. The proposed law would create a different option for boxers. Instead of having 4 different organizations, all with their own belts and rules, there would be one unified system with clear rankings. The champion would fight the #1 contender, just like in other sports. This is where it gets really interesting. A company called Zuffa Boxing, which is run by UFC CEO Dana White, is launching next year. The Crawford vs. Canelo fight was actually their first event. Zuffa Boxing strongly supports the Muhammad Ali Revival Act. They want to change boxing completely. Not everyone agrees with Crawford, though. Eddie Hearn, a major boxing promoter, criticized how Crawford handled this. He used a restaurant comparison to make his point. Hearn said, what Crawford did is a little bit like going out to a restaurant, having all the best caviar and lobsters, and the bill comes and you go, ain't paying that, and then you just walk out. Hearn continued, you sat down at the table, you wanted to eat all the good stuff, now you got to pay your dues and pay your bill. You wanted the opportunity to call yourself an undisputed champion. That was important to you. And the only reason you can do that is to fight for the WBC world title. He pointed out that Crawford was bragging about being undisputed right after the fight. When you saw him a few hours before displaying his belts, you heard him, I'm undisputed, I'm undisputed, I'm undisputed. If belts don't matter, then surely undisputed doesn't matter to you.
Hearn acknowledged that sanctioning fees are sometimes too high, but he said Crawford can't have it both ways. Quote, no one ever really wants to pay the bill, do they? But what you can't do is chase the legacy, chase the undisputed tag, and then say, actually, I didn't want that. You fought for it already. You can't now say, I'm not paying. End quote. This whole situation raises big questions about boxing's future. Will other top fighters follow Crawford's lead and refuse to pay sanctioning fees? Will the new Zoo for Boxing model succeed? Will Congress actually pass reform laws? Or will everything stay the same? One thing is certain, Terence Crawford just did something that might change boxing forever. Whether people think he's right or wrong, he's forcing everyone to talk about problems that have existed in boxing for decades. And that conversation is just getting started. What do you think? Is Crawford right to refuse paying, or should he follow the rules? Drop your answer in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more boxing news.